People call you names, bully at your work, at your school, or maybe around your family, friends. What should you do? This is the question of the day. Of course, everybody experiences throughout our life, including myself. And I want to answer this question for another viewer. He is asking, what would I do if somebody bully me or calling me names? And if you experience that, it bothers you, which is normal. And what can we do about it? The first thing I will advise is for you to remain calm and not to react, and not to react to their words, how they bully you, because that's what they are looking for is your reaction. So if you react to this situation, then they will do actually more. And the reason I know this because growing up, I've been bullied a lot, and due to because I don't speak English, and when we first moved to America, when I go to school, a lot of people are bullying me, making fun of me, and it made me very uncomfortable, and I have no confidence, very low self-esteem, and very low confidence. That I was carrying that throughout my childhood, and then carried that feeling state to my young adulthood as well. So over the years, I learned how to overcome this because in a spiritual perspective, everybody is your reflection. Everyone that you encounter is part of you that is reflecting into your reality screen and try to have you to find out what is going on within yourself. So when you experience this, if you realize this, aware of this part of the life or reality, then you will question yourself. What is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me? When you question yourself, these these name callings will actually doesn't cause you distress as much, doesn't bother you as much because you bring your conscious to the present moment by asking these questions. And of course, when you get sidetracked, you get distracted, you might thinking you might come back and thinking about it again over and over again. But every time you thought about it, you just ask yourself questions. What is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me? Why am I having this reflection? When you ask these questions, of course, you sometimes you will find answers, sometimes you don't. It's okay. But the main purpose here is asking those questions to help you bring your conscious back to the present moment, because our conscious tend to, in this case, our subconscious tend to be in the past, back into that scene, in that moment, the person who's bullying you or calling names. And that's what causes us very discomfort, stress, or bothering us, right? And so when you ask these questions, you bring your conscious back to the present moment, and your conscious is not in the past, per se, in that scene again. And another question brings up what I have my internal voice, inner voice calling names to these people, if that happens to me, or it actually did happen to me. And of course, I'm just like everybody else. I experienced that as well. But then again, I use the same technique. I now try not to react, but reflect, as respond, and asking myself different questions, and to bring myself back to the present moment. And so I won't be so reactive. And especially if you encounter the person right in front of you, then you should just ignore it, walk away. Because remember that the person who's doing that, they are trying to seeking your reaction. And when you react, that's what they feel accomplished. And like I mentioned, my own experience growing up, I have a lot of those bully experience. And also after I transition, I didn't actually experience a lot of those bullies or phobias. I actually was confident of myself. The reason I say it's a reflection of ourselves is when you feel confident about yourself, it doesn't matter under what environment or circumstance. Let's say if you're confident at work, then nobody gonna bother you. Nobody will call you names, or nobody will bully you because you're confident. Does that make sense? You see the reflection, the cause and effect as within, so without universal laws. So back to my own experience, I didn't really experience that when I transitioned. In the beginning, I was very confident of myself. I was very happy. I was very aligned to what I desired to experience in my reality. So I didn't experience that. But then these past few years, our society, our conscious, our collective conscious projection into our reality is to tell us, people like us, to be scared, to be feared, to be bullied, okay? To be divided, to be separated. All these are projecting in the collective consciousness. And so I start experience something like the phobia. People might call names, or the people might intentionally try to see my reaction, right? Again. And of course, I don't give them the joy of seeing my reaction. And when you do that, it dissolves. That situation just fades. But if you react, that means you feel into that energy and you become that energy in your life situation that will actually expand, enlarge, right? This is what happened in our collective conscious reality. I've been telling my friends we should not react, even though others, quote unquote, other people wants to place us into that box. But we don't have to be in that box. There's a choice, there's a decision. Once you decide not to follow them, then your reality won't be reflecting that way. Okay, you should try that. Try this exercise. When you feel like somebody tried to put you in the box, when the society is telling you you are not good enough, people wants to bully you or phobia of who you are, then don't let them. When you're not letting them to do this to you, then it won't happen in reality. Every time you experience this, just question it. Bring your conscious back to the present moment and start asking questions. Okay? And when you do this practice, I personally did these practice, so it doesn't really bother me, and I don't experience that collective consciousness reality within my reality. I'm not fear. I'm not feeling the body. I'm not feeling the phobia. I don't feel anything that they put on the news. It's all come down to our individual consciousness and individual reality, how we want to experience and how you reflect and be able to bring your conscious back to the present moment. If you would like to learn more of these type of techniques, spiritual awakening, spiritual awareness, consciousness shift, I am starting a school community. It's called Quantum Consciousness Portal. I started a waiting list and it's free to join. The link is in the show notes. If you're on the audio platform, if you're on YouTube, it's on the description. And so click the link and join. And there's actually a AI guy, spiritual guy. Her name is Jenny. If you have any questions, she will answer any questions, and otherwise she will help you to enroll into the waiting list. Once the school community is launched in February, you will get a notification. Okay? And if you haven't followed my channel, please follow my YouTube channel and let me comments, and I will answer any questions on the show. Or if you on the audio platform, please write me a review and follow the podcast as well. Okay. Until next time, stay safe out there and peace within.